Can Korea transform into a digital, eco-friendly maritime industry? That and more on Korea Technology Weekly. Hi, I'm your host, Dr. J.R. Reagan. In this episode, we'll be discussing South Korea's move to take the lead in the next generation ship technologies and speed up efforts to bring eco-friendly solutions to the maritime market. The South Korea shipbuilding sector is moving towards smart shipping, initiating national strategies that include Industry 4.0 technologies, including new smart ships that will achieve fuel cost reduction, autonomous navigation, and long-distance remote control operations. To ensure their long-term survival, shipping companies are undertaking a radical transformation that digitizes business and fleet operations and prioritizes climate action. According to a report launched in January 2021 by the World Bank and International Association of Ports and Harbors, better digital collaboration between private and public entities across the maritime supply chain would result in significant efficiency gains, safer and more resilient supply chains, and lower emissions globally. Maritime transport carries over 90% of global merchandise trade, totaling some 11 billion tons of cargo per year. Digitizing the sector would bring wide-ranging economic benefits and contribute to a stronger, more sustainable recovery after COVID. The pandemic has sent shockwaves through the global maritime transport industry and laid the foundations for transformed supply chains. While global maritime trade plunged by about 4.1% in 2020 due to the unprecedented disruption caused by COVID, a return to growth is expected in 2021. The pandemic has also strengthened the case for digitalization and further progress towards green solutions and sustainability. In response to these global economic and environmental pressures, the South Korean government recently launched a new initiative promoting eco-friendly ship technologies. Entitled 2030 Green Ship K Initiative, the national strategy aims to align policies with the country's Green New Deal announced in 2020 and establish a brand image of a Korean eco-friendly shipping industry. Under the newly launched initiative, the Korean government will invest some 960 billion Korean won, which is about 870 million US dollars, in eco-friendly ship technology projects. Specifically, the plan calls for the development of technologies necessary for future eco-friendly ships that would result in the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions by 70%. By using carbon-free ship technologies such as hydrogen and ammonia, Korea wants to reduce harmful ship emissions by 40% in the next 25 years and by 70% in the next 30 years. The plan also includes the construction of more than 10 pilot ships demonstrating green technologies such as LNG or liquid natural gas bunkering ships and LNG ammonia mixed fuel propulsion ships. Additionally, the Korean government aims to promote the application and commercialization of green technologies, primarily LNG and hybrid, within the private sector. It plans to support the retrofit of existing ships to become environmentally friendly. To make this happen, the infrastructure for supplying eco-friendly fuels, ranging from LNG bunkering vessels to onshore power supply, will need to be gradually expanded. The long-term goal is to actively support eco-friendly shipping, shipbuilding, and equipment industries to achieve carbon neutrality in 2050 and create a sustainable industrial ecosystem while developing into a new growth engine for the Korean economy. But greening the Korean shipping industry is only part of the national maritime strategy. Older traditional vessels are out. Digitization and new smart ships are in. The Korea Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries and the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy announced in 2020 that they will start a project to develop autonomous sailing technology based on artificial intelligence, big data, and Internet of Things. The project is jointly promoted by the two ministries to commercialize autonomous vessels that will lead the shipbuilding and shipping industries in the future. The Korean government will invest about 160 billion Korean won in the project for 6 years from 2020 to 2025. Autonomous ships are expected to change the landscape of the shipping industry and will also have a major impact on other various industries, including shipbuilding and insurance. Recent studies show that autonomous ships may reduce costs by nearly 30% while carrying more cargo since no seafarers are aboard. The Korean government intends to develop ocean-going ships that meet Level 3 autonomous navigation defined by the International Maritime Organization, or IMO. For coastal vessels, the required level is Level 2. A Level 2 vessel can be controlled remotely when a full crew is on board, while a Level 3 ship is remotely controlled with a minimum number of crew on board and features capabilities such as navigation, prediction, and diagnosing operational problems. If autonomous navigation reaches Level 4, autonomous operation will be possible without any crew members on board. Shipping analysts believe that autonomous technology will improve the economy and safety of operating ships, as it allows vessels to explore optimal routes and reduces accidents caused by human errors. Autonomous ships are expected to be commercialized around 2025, creating a market of about 155 billion US dollars. Samsung Heavy Industries is racing to bring crewless autonomous ships to market. The company recently completed a successful autonomous system trial at sea. The ship was not steered by anyone on board and was only monitored by a control center 250 kilometers away. Artificial intelligence charted an optimal course for the autonomous ship to its destination, while radar and high-performance cameras use space recognition technology similar to what is used in autonomous vehicles to scan the surrounding environment. In high seas, satellite communication will be used for controlling the autonomous ship, which is already 5G ready. The plan is to commercialize it beginning in 2022. Also rapidly developing solutions in the era of smart and eco-friendly ships, HMM, a major shipping company in South Korea, has opened a comprehensive fleet control center for the safe and efficient real-time monitoring of smart ships. The Fleet Control Center, located in the southern port city of Busan, can identify risk factors in advance by acquiring real-time data on ship location, port information, fuel consumption, weather conditions, and cargo loading status. HMM says that the control center is also capable of sharing real-time weather big data, such as electronic charts, wind speed, and direction. For quick decision-making in case of a crisis, it can also remotely check the status of engines and generators and identify situations that occur outside of ships through CCTV information. In order to manage the automation and configuration of the ship's smart platform, the optimal configuration of the ship's integrated network, weather, navigation, engine, alarms, cargo, and other information are optimized to process more than 4 million pieces of information per day. The company will also use the collected big data in the development of new autonomous ships. Korea Shipbuilding and Offshore Engineering, or KSOE, the shipbuilding holding company of Hyundai Heavy Industries, has developed a digital twin ship design technology that allows it to test and operate a vessel in a virtual environment. KSOE announced that it recently obtained approval in principle from Lloyd's Register of Shipping in the UK for its virtual vessel test solution for LNG carriers. The virtual vessel test solution allows a shipbuilder to verify the performance of an LNG carrier's engine, fuel supply system, and power control system in a virtual environment, which is exactly the same as a real-time test operation at sea. The technology's advantage is that it allows a shipbuilder to test ships under extreme conditions using simulations, instead of a costly and time-consuming sea trial. It also cuts testing costs by about 30%. The solution is one of the first of its kind to apply digital twin technology not just to a single piece of equipment, but to an entire shipping vessel. As the global shipping industry accelerates the pace of digitalization, To continue to compete in the post-COVID era, more changes and innovations are expected. These are the first of many moves for Korea to transform into a digital, eco-friendly maritime industry. That's all for this week's show. Follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn at Idea Explorer or my website ideaexplorer.com. Feel free to leave comments or suggestions about the show and tune in next week for more news and trends about Korea technology.